I call Paul Goldsmith.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to speak in favour of this bill, the Southland District Council Stewart Island Rakiura Visitor Levy Empowering Bill. I'm bound to say I haven't had the opportunity yet to visit Stewart Island, and more's the pity. I'd love to get down there. The closest I've been to is Bluff, and I've seen it. I haven't been to the Chathams either. There's a long way I've got to go. And I wasn't on the select committee last year either, but and instinctively I'm not generally in favour of new taxes and levies. I think we pay enough taxes and levies as it is, and I don't share great enthusiasm for giving local government power. Hang on, I haven't finished yet, giving local government the opportunity to raise new taxes, but this situation, the logic does seem to be reasonably compelling, and we have here a situation where there are a very small remote community where a large number of visitors come, up to 40,000 a year, and we do need to get some basic infrastructure in place there and find a better way of paying for it. And so I salute Eric Roy for his efforts here. The widespread support that this bill has had in the House is surely testament to the efforts of Eric Roy and the widespread enthusiasm that people have in the House to him and his efforts. I remember playing in the parliamentary rugby side with him in the 1990s, and he, well, that's right, and he was galloping around the place, and we played in Southland, and he is a very well-regarded local MP, and this bill I think is just a small way in which he can improve the life and economy of part of his electorate in Stewart Island. Some of the details that were handled by the Select Committee, I would just like to draw attention to amendments to Clause 4, for example, on definitions. The provision of a definition of approved operator is intended to assist the Council to enter into contracts with transport operators, such as cruise ship operators. The Council will then be able to gather revenue from operators on behalf of passengers rather than separately from each visitor, and I think that's a better way of handling the situation, and also replacing Clause 18 to make offences infringement offences rather than the cost to the Council of prosecuting offences by a visitor as a summary offence would be substantial, whereas an infringement offences regime would be more appropriate for the kind of thing that we're dealing with. Unfortunately, if you introduce a levy, you do have to have some sort of arrangements for dealing with people who won't pay, and I think that's a simple way of doing it in a relatively cost-effective way. So, look, it's my expectation that with this bill and with this levy, the Stewart Islands will be in a much better place in the next few years to create a warm and inviting environment for visitors, which will surely only grow over the next decade as more and more people realise what a wonderful part of the world this is and what a wonderful place it is to visit. And now I think we're in a better place because of this bill, so I commend this bill to the House. Thank you.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I